All right, y'all. We got Inside Star Citizen 4.0 patch report. Let's go.
December, and teams and studios around the world are working diligently to release Alpha 4.0 into all players' hands before the end of this year. And on this last ISC of 2024, we're going to take some time to revisit many of the aspects that we hope will make this patch the biggest in Star Citizen yet. So let's jump on in with Patch Report 4.0.
Well, kind of, because half the shit is actually missing. You know, it's Pyro Tier 0 or 4.0 Tier 0, or, you know how Star Citizen does it.
Oh, and remember, this is just a quick summary. If you're looking for an in-depth, nitty-gritty of each feature, check out all those dedicated episodes we just did. You'll learn more from the developers than you ever will from me. So let's do it. It's hard to pick the most important element of Star Citizen Alpha 4.0, but any conversation must start with the arrival of server meshing, the underlying technology that will increase player capacity and server performance for years to come, with its first iteration allowing for the largest expansion of Star Citizen's universe yet.
I mean, server meshing right now ain't the end-all be-all. There's still issues. Like, I was trying to play the most recent patch, and what happened to me was some of the stuff that happened when they had the old NMQ system where you would hit your quantum travel and you would leave a server and your ship would disappear. Yeah, that was still happening to me, like, very recently, like, like a day ago. Literally, like, last night. Still that same issue. So the jury, in my opinion, is still out on server meshing, but let's continue.
And you'll get to that expansion through our first jump point, connecting the Stanton system we've known and watched evolve since 2015 with the nascent Pyro system, as players and spacecraft alike traverse back and forth between two different star systems.
When the current PTU build, if you're trying to go from Stanton to Pyro, you can't, because the jump gate's actually broken right now. You can only go from Pyro to Stanton. So you're kind of just stuck in either system in this current build of the PTU. And again, I emphasize that it's PTU, but it's still broken.
Of course, once you get to the Pyro system, you'll encounter a new array of space stations and asteroid bases, each providing opportunities and challenges galore as you navigate the worlds of Pyro's various factions like Rough and Ready, Headhunters, and the Citizens for Prosperity. And within these locations, you'll discover my pick for most exciting new feature of Alpha 4.0, the Contested Zones, where citizens will battle it out against NPC and player alike, solving puzzles.
The contested zones are not this smooth. I went into a contested zone once, and I haven't been back since because the frames have been absolutely horrendous for me personally. Now, other people have had more success with that, and I will revisit it again later in future builds. But for right now, I'm staying away from the contested zones until the performance does improve.
Holding positions, and moving from zone to zone for a whole host of interesting and unique rewards that will continue to grow in subsequent patches. Then, when you're ready to explore further, the planets and moons of Pyro offer 11 new terrestrial locations full of adventure and commercial advantage aplenty, with its 6 planets and 5 moons playing host to a variety of encounters to discover in settlements independent, outlaw, and derelict alike. Junkyards, where new mission types can be found.
all of these like locations don't feel, in my opinion, unique because they feel like they're just copy and pasted. They're the same asset, just reused and rearranged. And I know that like handcrafting a different settlements that have different styles for different factions, it could potentially take longer. But if you've seen one outpost in Pyro, you've kind of seen them all, you know. And other than, you know, the commodities that you may find, which are not worth the time or effort trying to get to those, it doesn't seem like there's anything worthwhile in Pyro. We'll have to see about the minables on the ground and things like that. But as far as like the commodities goes, it's just like you're better off just, you know, running regular missions at this point.
And even farms for those looking for a more peaceful life.
Can't farm yet, so.
And within and around those points of interest, you might encounter one of Star Citizen's growing library of creatures, with the addition of multiple quasi-grazer variants, the not quite domesticated Copion in service of their captors, and even the small and diminutive Alaprat. Then beneath the surface of Pyro's planets and moons,
it's the same cave that you would find in Stanton. It's the same cave.
And Stanton's for that matter, new caves to be found in styles of rock, sand, and acidic beckon the brave adventurer to plunge their depths and conquer whatever creatures lie within. And throughout it all, 4.0 also includes the next major step forward in our ongoing economy overhaul and mission system refactors, with continuing adjustments to vehicle components, consumable.
Yeah, so right now, essentially in this 4.0 build, I know a lot of people haven't had access to it yet, but essentially now you can't get military grade components like at all. So the idea of you getting like FR-76, FR-86, FR-66 shields or VK-00, TS2, quantum drives, and, you know, your power plants and things like that, you're not going to be able to get those things anymore because they've changed it, and you can now have to loot that stuff through the contested zones and things like that. And I do think that they're trying to put all this military grade components through blueprints and crafting when that comes into the game, which I need to make a video about because crafting is it has some issues, and I hope that CIG actually listens to our feedback on stuff like that as well. But as of right now, with these components and things like that, you're not able to get military grade components, which is going to change a lot of the dynamics of how players interact in PvP and PvE alike.
Weapons like missiles and torpedoes, fuel prices, mission rewards, and much more.
See, the mission rewards have gone up, but the problem that I understand, guys, it's PTU, but the issue that I'm having right now is you do your initial contract for like bounty hunting and things like that, and after that you don't get any more missions. So there's still some work and some iteration that needs to go on with this stuff, and I feel like now they're really trying to rush Pyro out the door, because I do believe that Chris Roberts wants to make a letter from the chairman kind of post, you know, at the end of the year and say, hey guys, we delivered Pyro. We finally did it. It took us 6 years, but we finally gave you guys Pyro. But that still comes with asterisks because there's no engineering. There's no transit system refactor, and there's no Pyro having the CMEs, right? So, well, yes, we did get it, but it's, you know, or maybe we will get it. I'm not gonna, again, hold my breath, but they are advertising Pyro. So I do think they have every intention to release this to live before the end of the year, and I just hope that they have a successful launch. And listen, guys, I don't want CIG to fail. I just want them to do right by the player base and put the actual work in and make sure that whatever they do put out is the players can actually play it. We can all get in. We can actually play it. We're not crashing. There's going to be a lot of people coming back to Star Citizen specifically for this patch. So I do hope that they are ready and they have their servers on 10 and ready for everyone that's going to be coming back to Star Citizen.
And in FOIP news, those improvements demonstrated at this year's CitizenCon also arrive in the upcoming Alpha 4.0, including head rotation tracking, camera stabilization, a greater range of motion for big mouths, and overall refinements to the tracking algorithm itself.
I don't get to really use this because my camera is kind of offset because I have two big ass monitors, but this is kind of neat. And for the people who do like the the Machinima, about to say the TV show that's on Amazon right now, but people who do Machinimas and things like that and like to use this to create content, I think that's pretty good and pretty decent change. But it's not like game changing. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, this is going to change how everyone plays the game, because not everyone's going to be using this.
And then, of course, we can't forget spaceships, where the Anvil Carrack blast shields and opening cargo doors make their long-awaited debut.
So, the Carrack doors, and I don't own a Carrack, right? But while the doors that it's good that they don't open enough. They barely open, and it's hard to get things in and out of the Carrack, especially trying to use some of the bigger boxes. And the whole idea of the Carrack was, cargo transport. You can't put any real vehicles in here because of how the cargo pods open. Now, you can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, because you guys actually like to correct me even when I'm not wrong. But I do think that these cargo doors, or the pods, are supposed to go all the way to the ground, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully they can get that to work, because even still like this, the Carrack is still not that useful. You know what I mean? And with no pilot controlled guns, your blast shields ain't gonna help you in Pyro. I've been using Carracks as food. Every time I see a Carrack, I simply just shoot one down because I can. And it's defenseless, essentially. So don't be caught by yourself in a Carrack in Pyro, because it's not going to be pretty for you.
Let's just see that whole animation there. Yeah, splash shields. Do your thing. Also, what's this mean for the caterpillar doors? You're gonna get those soon? Should we cut that?
Now, if these had some type of AR thing where you can see through them, how the missile variant of the Fury has, I can see that being useful. But having basically a small window to look out of is not very useful in situational combat. It's just you're just blinding yourself at that point. So I don't find these blast shields to be particularly useful at all.
That out. Let's go ahead and leave that comment, shall we? Quantum travel gets its next evolution with new variations to acceleration rates.
But we don't get the new quantum travel thingy yet. That would have been another good thing to introduce for Pyro, the new quantum travel gameplay with the the jump gate and things like that.
Fuel consumption and maximum speeds based on each quantum drive's grade and class. And of course, we have to mention the legendary Space Wolf itself. The Mirai Guardian makes its presence known and looks to reckon with anyone that called it the Fat Fury in the past.
Target destroyed.
We're just gonna sit quiet and look at the Guardian fly around for a bit. Ooh, I've seen the previs on the trailer. I don't have anything to do with it, but it looks really cool. It's gonna be a good trailer when it comes.
I mean, it looks cool. It's really big though. And if you know anything about, combat, I mean, it's going to be fine for PvE. Like PvE, most ships are usable in PvE. PvP, this thing is going to get shot down like crazy. It does have a lot of good firepower. I think it's more akin to what the Glaive has for the 2 size 5s, but the Glaive also has 2 size 1 or 2 size 2s. Basically, the Glaive has 4 weapons. This only has 2. But I would expect it to be somewhere in that range. And it looks like it's not going to be very, very fast. And rotating engines, we know these things will get shut off pretty easily. And they'll be all, dead and things like that quite easily. So it's exciting. Yes, sure. But practical use, not too sure.
All in all, Alpha 4.0 is shaping up to be the start of a new chapter in the continuing story of Star Citizen's development. And while this will be the last time that we see each other before the new year, keep your eyes on the robertsspaceindustries.com website and social accounts for more details about its upcoming release. And from everyone here at Inside Star Citizen, thanks so much for letting us share the people and process of game development with you. Enjoy your holidays, spam John Crew with jalopy for me, and we'll see you all here next year.
All right, guys. So that's Inside Star Citizen, the last one of the year. Let me know what you guys think. I would assume that if this is going to come out before the end of the year, it's going to drop before Christmas, and we'll have it through the holiday break. And I just hope that there is support for it, because it's going to need it. It's going to need a lot of support. We're going to need some devs to work overtime, and I know funding has been down this year, so there's a lot less money. Chris didn't get to buy his second yacht this year, boo-hoo. But I do think that they can't just launch this to live and just peace out for the holidays. That's not going to be great. But anyway, let me know what you guys think, as always, down in the comments below, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.